Hey guys, it's Justine. Happy 2023, and what a way to start off the new year with some Apple news. Now, first off, we all figured that there would be an M2 Pro and an M2 Max chip that would be coming out at some point following the same timeline as the M1. So guess what? Here we are! I'm gonna give you guys all the specs here in a second, but all I know is that the M1 Mac is so freaking powerful that any upgrades to this at all is just gonna be so hard to beat, and I don't even think that I can fully imagine how powerful that's going to be. Like on this computer, the fans have hardly ever turned on over the past year, even doing super processor intensive things, and the battery life is beyond anything that I could have ever hoped for in a laptop. Full flights around the world, this thing has been with me through it all. Now, I've already had hands-on with the M2 chip in the MacBook Airs, so knowing how much stress testing that I put that thing through, my excitement to get a MacBook and a Mac Mini cannot be contained. Like, I'm kind of containing it right now, but like, I don't want to. So now we have two new chips, the M2 Pro and the M2 Max, that you can choose from in the 14 and 16-inch MacBook configurations. Now with the M2 Pro chip, it comes with a 10 or 23 core CPU and a 16 or 19 core GPU. You can have up to 32 gigs of low latency unified memory, and it has over 40 billion transistors, which is 20% more than in the M1. Now in Photoshop, you'll have 40% faster image processing. Now that was the M2 Pro. Now onto the M2 Max. This builds off of the power of the Pro. It has up to a 38 core GPU, double the unified memory bandwidth, which is up to 96 gigs. Now, both the M2 Pro and the M2 Max chips include a faster 16 core neural engine and powerful media engine. So for the MacBook Pros, we have a 16-inch or a 15-inch. I am so beyond impressed with the power of the 14-inch because it literally is just as powerful as a 16-inch, but in a much smaller form. The 14 starts at $19.99 and the 16-inch starts at $24.99. You can choose between two colors, the space gray and the silver, which I have here, and both sizes can be configured with the M2 Pro or the M2 Max chips, and with up to 8 terabytes of storage. Now, much like the previous MacBooks from last year, the design looks very similar. I mean, they look basically exactly like this one. They have the SD card slot, they have 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, it has Wi-Fi 6E, and the HDMI output will support up to 8K. Also, something that's really cool is the MagSafe charger. It's actually color matched to either the silver or space gray, which I think is pretty neat. You can get up to 18 hours of video playback and 12 hours of wireless web browsing on the 14-inch, while the 16 has the longest battery life ever in a Mac, up to 22 hours of video playback and 15 hours of wireless web browsing. Both models have a Magic Keyboard with full height function key row, Touch ID for unlocking and signing in and making purchases. I really do love having Touch ID, and now even having that on my full-size keyboard on my desktop, it's just really something that I feel like I can't live without anymore. I just wish that my iPhone had it. Too soon? The Mac Mini is also getting the M2 treatment. Now you can get just the regular M2 chip with a starting price of $599 or $799 with upgraded storage, or the M2 Pro starting at $1299. Honestly, getting an M2 base Mac Mini at $599 is really kind of hard to wrap my mind around because that's a really great price. Now, of course, you are gonna need to buy a keyboard, mouse, and a display to go with that, but if you already have those, then you're set. You can choose from an 8, 10, or 12 core CPU and a 10, 16, or 19 core GPU. You can configure it to 8 to 32 terabytes of unified memory and up to 8 terabytes of solid state storage. Now the Mac Mini with the M2 can simultaneously support up to 2 displays, while the M2 Pro can simultaneously support up to 3 displays. Depending upon which chip you go with, it has 2 or 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, both have USB-A ports, HDMI, Wi-Fi 6E, and Ethernet that can be configured up to 10 gigabit. Now, we've also got a new HomePod announcement. There's the HomePod 2nd Gen. Now, after discontinuing this 1st Gen HomePod, I felt like my home just became some sort of little history museum with all my old HomePods just scattered about. I love the HomePod so much. I have them in almost every room of my home and my office at this point. So what's new with the 2nd Gen? First off, the price, it is starting at $299, where the 1st Gen was launched at $349. It has the same S7 chip that is found in the Apple Watch, whereas the 1st Gen had the A8 from the iPhone 6. It has 4 built-in microphones compared to the original having 6, but it still has support for far-field Siri, so you can access it from a distance. The power cable is also detachable, which is so nice because you couldn't remove it on the old one. The top has a larger backlit touch interface. It's also lighter and a little shorter. The 1st Gen weighed 5.5 pounds and this is only 5.16. It's also 0.2 inches shorter, but they did keep the same width. It now supports Thread, which is a low-power mesh network that the first HomePod didn't have. Now, much like the HomePod Mini, which is their newest one in the lineup, this has a built-in U1 Ultra band chip that detects other U1 equipped devices. So you'll be able to quickly do handoff with audio and your phone calls. It's also got a built-in sensor that can detect temperature and humidity of the room. Sound recognition also allows the HomePod to securely listen for smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Now, I already know that I love the HomePod, so having a new upgrade to the one that I already love, I'm pretty sure it will live up to the expectations. But I will say, I was kind of hoping that they'd create something with a screen along the lines of that, kind of like how Amazon Alexa has their Echo devices. So it will be interesting to see if they ever do decide to go that route. I feel like if they would end up doing something like that, it would probably be an entirely new product instead of just building off of the HomePod. Like maybe no pod, maybe just like home, like an iHome, I don't know. Anyway, I'm super hyped about the announcements. It is kind of difficult sometimes covering these things because cosmetically, all of these devices look very similar to previous ones. So sometimes when reviewing these, it's hard because it looks exactly the same. So really the only way to show you the differences is by showing the performance. I'm already blown away by what Apple has done with Apple Silicon, so I can't wait to get my hands on one of the new MacBook Pros. You guys know that I can't wait, and of course I did end up speccing out a full 16-inch with the 96 gigs of RAM. I mean, that is a freaking dream come true. Like, I mean, my day-to-day things, even just editing 8K video, like it's just wow. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. I'll be posting, of course, reviews of all of the new Apple products. Don't forget to like, comment, and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see. I would love to try some new things here because I feel like review videos kind of seem so repetitive. So if you guys have any ideas or things that you'd like to see, things that you'd like to be tested, I would love to hear them in the comments below. I also did send a tweet out and saw some really great responses to some videos that you guys would like to see. So hopefully we'll be making those here shortly. Thanks again for watching. You guys are awesome. I'll see you later. Bye.